Have you ever been hurt by someone you trusted with your whole heart? Someone you believed would never break you. But they did. It could be a friend, a lover, even family. The pain they left still echoes in your mind. But here's the question no one asks. What if that very pain was the lesson your soul needed most? What if the person who hurt you wasn't your enemy, but the one life sent to wake you up? In this video, you'll discover the hidden side of pain. How betrayal, heartbreak, and disappointment can shape you into someone stronger, wiser, and more self-aware. We'll explore why life often uses hurt as a teacher, and how the people who break you can also build you, just in ways you never expected. By the end of this video, you'll understand the silent purpose behind your struggles, and how to turn your deepest wounds into your greatest wisdom. So stay with me till the end, because what you're about to hear might just change the way you see every person, whoever hurt you. Welcome to Motivational Quotes, where every story heals, every word inspires, and every truth helps you grow. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a story that could change your life. Before we talk about the lessons pain can teach you, let's talk about the pain itself. It begins quietly, sometimes with a promise that's broken, sometimes with a friend who drifts away when you need them most, sometimes with someone who says they love you, but stops showing it. Betrayal, disappointment, neglect. Different faces, same wound. It's that moment when trust cracks, and suddenly the world doesn't feel safe anymore. Your chest feels heavy. Your mind keeps replaying the moment, trying to understand how everything changed so fast. There's shock at first, then sadness that sits quietly inside you, and then confusion. Because the person who caused your pain was the one you thought would protect you from it. You start to question yourself. Was it your fault? Did you expect too much? Did you miss the signs? These questions don't bring peace, and they bring more ache. But this is what it means to be human, to care deeply, to trust fully, to get hurt when that trust is broken. No one escapes it. Every person you know carries a story of hurt, even the ones who look strong. Pain touches everyone, no matter who they are. And yet, somewhere within that pain lies a strange truth. That pain is not just punishment. It's a catalyst, a force that changes you, reshapes you, and pushes you toward growth. Before we talk about the healing, we need to talk about the shift. That quiet moment when pain begins to turn into understanding. At first, it's hard to see. All you can feel is what was lost, the trust, the peace. The version of yourself that believed everything was safe. But slowly, something inside you begins to change. You start to realize that maybe the people who hurt you weren't just there to break you. Maybe they were there to show you something you couldn't have seen on your own. They become, in a strange way, your teachers. Not by choice. Not because they cared to teach you, but because their actions revealed truths you needed to face. Their betrayal showed you your worth. That you deserve honesty, not half-truths. Their silence taught you boundaries. That not everyone deserves access to your heart. Their rejection built your strength, because you learned to stand alone and still move forward. Pain has a way of shining light on what's hidden. It shows you who values you, and who only valued what you could give. It teaches you what loyalty feels like, by showing you what it's like to lose it. But here's the important part. The lesson isn't in the hurt itself, it's in what you take from it. The pain isn't meant to define you. It's meant to refine you. Every tear, every sleepless night, every question that echoed in your mind. They weren't meaningless. They were shaping your awareness, your courage, your wisdom. You begin to understand that growth doesn't come wrapped in comfort. It comes through the breaking, and what you choose to rebuild after. Before we talk about moving forward, let's pause and look at what pain has already taught you. Because every wound carries a message, and every heartbreak leaves behind a quiet lesson. If you're willing to listen, Lesson 1. You learn your worth. When someone treats you poorly, you begin to see how little you valued yourself before. You start to realize that love isn't meant to make you feel small. Respect isn't something you beg for, it's something you deserve. Their mistreatment becomes a mirror, showing you where you forgot your own value. Lesson 2. You learn boundaries and self-respect. Hurt teaches you where your limits are. You stop saying yes when your heart is screaming no. You learn that protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's survival. You understand that not everyone should have the power to disturb your calm. Boundaries aren't walls, they're doors with locks. and only those who value you should have the key. Lesson 3. You learn resilience and inner strength. When you're hurt, you think you'll never recover, but somehow you do. You wake up, you breathe, you move, slowly, painfully, but you move. And one day you look back and realize you made it through what once felt impossible. That strength didn't come from others, it came from you. Pain revealed it, but it was always there. Lesson 4. You learn to choose wisely who you let in. You start to see the red flags you once ignored. You notice energy, not just words. You listen to actions, not promises. Pain sharpens your intuition. It teaches you to protect your heart with wisdom, not fear. You no longer open your doors to everyone who knocks. You open them only to those who knock with honesty. Lesson 5. You learn compassion, forgiveness, and letting go. When you've been broken, you see others differently. You understand how fragile people can be, how pain can make them hurt others without meaning to. You stop seeking revenge and start seeking peace. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting what happened. It means freeing yourself from carrying it forever. Every hurt, every heartbreak, every disappointment, they all whisper these lessons to you, quietly shaping the person you are becoming. Before we talk about peace and healing, let's talk about how pain turns into growth. Because it doesn't happen automatically. It happens when you decide to face what hurt you, instead of running from it. The first step is to acknowledge the hurt, not hide it, not pretend it doesn't matter. Say it out loud or write it down. I was hurt. Those 3 words carry power because they bring truth into the light. Then reflect on what the pain showed you. Ask yourself, what did this experience reveal about me? About what I accept, what I avoid, what I need to change? Sometimes pain doesn't come to destroy. It comes to expose what's been hidden. Through reflection, you start to see the patterns, the choices, the lessons. Next, choose to act differently. Growth begins when you make new choices based on old pain. You stop chasing the same kind of people. You stop ignoring red flags. You stop shrinking yourself just to keep others comfortable. You begin to live wiser, not harder, not colder, just wiser. It helps to write your thoughts down. Journaling gives pain a voice. And once it's on paper, it doesn't have to live in your chest. You can also talk it out with a friend, a counselor, or even with yourself in silence. Every time you express the pain, you release a piece of it. And as you heal, remember this. You don't owe the person who hurt you a thank you. You don't need to rescue them or justify what they did. Your growth is yours alone. They were only the trigger, not the reason you became stronger. Still, it's important to be honest. Pain isn't always a gift. Sometimes it's simply wrong. Sometimes people hurt others out of cruelty, fear, or ignorance. There's nothing noble about suffering. Healing doesn't mean excusing the pain. It means refusing to let it control you anymore. When you understand that difference, you take your power back. You stop glorifying what broke you and start honoring what you built from it. Before we talk about moving on, let's talk about what happens when the lesson finally settles in. When you stop fighting the pain and start understanding what it came to show you, something changes inside you. You begin to live differently, more awake, more aware, more alive. You no longer move through life on autopilot, repeating the same old patterns that once trapped you. You start to see clearly who belongs in your world and who doesn't. You live more fully because you've tasted emptiness and you've learned to fill yourself again. You stop chasing validation from others and start building peace within. Your energy shifts, and suddenly, you attract people who see your worth without you having to prove it. Healthy connections find you because you've become one. You act with awareness now, not reaction. You pause before speaking. You observe before judging. You feel before deciding. Hurt once made you impulsive. Wisdom now makes you intentional. You also start to carry your lessons forward. You help others who are walking through the same kind of pain you once knew. Not by preaching, but simply by being. By showing through your calm, your kindness, your strength, that healing is possible, that survival can turn into transformation. You stop being defined by what happened to you. You stop calling yourself the broken one, the betrayed one, the forgotten one. You're no longer the story of pain. You're the story of what grew from it. You become the version of yourself that pain tried to destroy. Stronger, softer, and far more real than before. Before we end, let's remind ourselves of one simple truth. The people who hurt you the most often teach you the lessons you needed the most. Not because they were right, but because their actions revealed what you were meant to see: your worth, your strength, your boundaries, and the version of yourself that only pain could uncover. So ask yourself, what lesson did your hurt teach you? What did it show you about love, trust, or self-respect? Take a moment today and ask, what is this experience trying to teach me? Because when you start to see your pain through that lens, you take back your power, you stop being a victim of what happened, and become a student of what it meant. If this message touched your heart, share your lesson in the comments. You never know who might need to read it today. And if you found this video meaningful, please like it, share it, and subscribe to Motivational Quotes for more stories that heal, inspire, and remind you of your strength. Your story isn't over. The lesson is just beginning.